Hello, everybody. It's Rick Jorgensen. I'm here with my partner, Angela Giles. We're both very, very excited to be able to present our new program, Social App Income, and how to cash in on this new billion-dollar industry tonight. You know, last night we actually had a somewhat of a pre-launch, and we had a great turnout, maxed out the lines, very, very exciting. Tonight it looks like we're going to do exactly the same thing. I want to go ahead and get into it tonight and give you just a brief introduction of myself and of Angela, just so you have an idea of what our background is like. For those of you that don't know us, Angela and I combined have about 22 years of online marketing experience. And we also have about 15 years combined of social media marketing experience. We're very, very familiar with the marketplace, very familiar on the marketing side. This is a brand new world for a lot of people. It's a brand new opportunity, and we're very excited to be able to share it with you and present it to you tonight. So let's go ahead and just dive on in. You know, I always hate to start these things out with bad news, but I think it's very, very important that we kind of establish and lay the groundwork here for what we're going to talk about tonight. And the way that I need to do this is to share a little bad news with you about home-based business and really what I call home-based business reality. And here it is. Only 3% of all network marketers make money. Okay? That's reality. I've been in the network marketing industry. I've been one of those 3% that makes money. But you know, the reality is that those of us that are the 3%ers make that money on the backs of those of you that are the 97%ers. And to me, it's just not fair. 98% of all internet marketers fail to generate any kind of significant income. 98%. These are tough businesses. Yes, people make it, but the reality is there's a better way. There's a better model out there. And here's the good news. The good news, 41% of all app developers are making money. Now I want you to really, I want this to sink in, and I want you to really understand the significance of this statistic. 41% of all app developers are making money. Absolutely phenomenal. And tonight we're going to show you how not only to be one of those 41%, but how to be in the upper percentage of the 41%. So let's take a look at the market. The market has been phenomenal. The number of smartphones sold exceeded the number of PCs sold last year. This is a very, very significant statistic. This is really the direction of where the internet's going. This is the direction of where the app market obviously is going, and this is what is fueling the app market. Tablets alone should pass PC sales in the next 2 to 3 years. And when I say tablets, I'm talking about iPad, I'm talking about all the Android tablets out there. More and more people are using these devices to access the internet, to access apps. And again, this is significant for what the future holds for the application market. But now's the time to get involved in mobile. It isn't too late. It isn't too early. The timing is perfect. Check out, we're here right now. You can see kind of on this timeline, this is where we're at. The growth is just continuing. Absolutely amazing what's going to happen, especially as it relates to smartphones versus what I call dumb phones. On this particular chart, it's called feature phone sales. But the difference, right now, there's a lot more feature phones, dumb phones, than there are smartphones. But over the next several years, smartphones will absolutely outpace feature phones. And feature phones, you know, the ones that you flip open, I used to have a cell phone like that, right? You flip it open, those are going to go away. They aren't even going to be available anymore. And what will then be happening in the app world? Well, smartphones run on apps. So again, the demand for apps will increase significantly as smartphone sales begin to outpace feature phone sales. Apps are now a $10 billion a year market, and it's growing at a what other industries do you know of right now that are growing at 100% per year pace? I don't know of any. I mean, it's absolutely amazing what's happening in the marketplace right now. And it's amazing how many people are making money in this marketplace. I think you all know Angry Birds. You're familiar with Angry Birds. Even if you don't have it, you've heard of it. Angry Birds. Angry Birds alone has 600 million downloads in the marketplace. Now, just to kind of put this in perspective, Nintendo DS, right, which is one of the most amazingly successful gaming systems that are out there, Angry Birds alone has beat out Nintendo DS and all of their games combined. Absolutely amazing, absolutely phenomenal. Now here's what I get excited about when I look at the app market. It is the type of money that's being made in such a short period of time. And if you look down this list, and I'll try to zoom in for you here on this list and go through this. Go Wang and Jeff Smith, $1 million in their first year. Ethan Nicholas right over here made $1 million in less than 7 months. Joel Comm, $100,000 in less than 2 weeks. Now Joel is also a very experienced internet marketer, but he got into the application market and made $100,000 in less than 2 weeks. Bert Deckram down here touched $100,000 in 3 months, 20 million downloads in his first year. Steve Detmer, $250,000 in 2 months. Brian Greenstone, $5 million in his first 15 months. The money that's being made in the marketplace, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely amazing. And the good news is it's being made by just normal people, not superstars, not people that come in and spend millions and millions and millions of dollars to get a business started. It's being made by everyday normal people, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But let's talk about, first and foremost, barriers to entry. I think the reason that a lot of people don't get involved in this particular business is because of these perceived barriers to entry and even the realities of the barriers to entry. For instance, the average cost to build an app is $600 to $2,000. App development and marketing training for you to go out and bring yourself up to speed on the marketplace, how to do it, how to develop, how to market, at least $2,000. Marketing costs are running at about $2,000 a month on average. And graphics for your apps can run $1,000 and up alone. So you're looking at upwards of $7,000 upfront or more, and at least $2,000 a month in costs to get into the app business. Now, I don't know how many of you out there have $7,000 in your pocket right now to go ahead and spend and to get started. And actually, you wouldn't even really get started the right way. But a lot of people don't have this, especially in the home-based business, small business marketplace, right? This is kind of tough to come by. But the good news is, we have a way, we've got a formula, we've got a system where you're not going to spend anywhere near this money to be able to get involved in this amazing billion-dollar business. What if you could not only build apps for as little as $12 each, because remember I told you the average app cost is $600 to $2,000, but what if you could build apps for as little as $12 each? Matter of fact, I'm going to show you how you can build apps for as little as nothing. Free, absolutely free. Would that make a significant difference in being able to get into this business? Lower that barrier of entry? Absolutely it would. Let's talk about the wrong way to approach this business, okay? And here's a great example, the Angry Birds. And you look at this and you go, how could this be the wrong way? These guys have made millions and millions and millions of dollars. Absolutely they have. But let me tell you the mistake that most people make when they get into the app development business. And this is really where those 59% of the people that don't make money fall into. They're looking for the instant home run. They're looking for that lottery ticket, that elusive lottery ticket. They're looking for that one big idea that's going to get them to become the next Angry Birds. And you know what? It just doesn't happen that way. You choose here. You do have a choice in entering this business. You choose. You could be part of the 59% who lose money in this business, or you can be part of the 41% who make money. It is your choice, and we're going to show you how to be part of that 41%. And like I said earlier, not only part of that 41%, but part of the upper part of that 41%. So let's take a look at the right way to build this business. There's 6 keys to success, which we're going to go over in a minute. There's a particular simple three-step formula that we're going to take a look at that is absolutely the only way to win at this business. And we're going to show you how to spend little to no dollars building apps rather than a whole lot of money to build apps. So here's those 6 keys to success. We're going to drill down on a couple of these a little bit further tonight, but what I want to show you, these 6 keys because these are the foundation of building a successful app business. Number 1, market research, the right kind of market research. Of course, application development and doing apps the right way. And then once the apps are developed and they're out there in the marketplace, then you've got the analytics and adjustments side of the business where you're taking a look at what you've got out there, what's working, what's not working. That's a very important aspect. Of course, marketing and monetization. How do you market your apps the right way? How do you get the most out of them from a monetization standpoint? Team and systems, very, very important aspect of the business. And then finally, professional networking. And again, we're going to touch on a number of these as we move forward, get a little bit more in depth into them. Let's talk a little bit about marketing versus development. Let me ask you a question. What makes more money, do you think? The great idea that never goes anywhere due to terrible marketing, or the okay idea that explodes due to great marketing? I can tell you, because I've been in the marketing business for 35 years, marketing is absolutely key. Here's the key to marketing apps. I want you to really focus on this for a minute. Take a look at the App Store here. The App Store is really, in reality, it's one big search engine. And apps are keywords. This is really the success scenario for anybody who wants to be part of that 41% group in understanding. All of the different app stores really are just search engines. Why? People come to those stores, we go to the stores, and we're looking for specific types of applications. We don't necessarily go in and search for Angry Birds. We go in and search for certain kind of games, car games, animal games, certain types of utilities. And so what does that tell you? It tells you that apps are keywords. There's a real SEO strategy going on here to be successful in this business. We'll talk more about that in a minute, but I just want to lay this groundwork here that the key to marketing apps is understanding that the app stores are one big search engine and that app are really keywords. We start with market research. Again, the 59%ers in this business who lose money, they don't start with market research. What do they start with? They start with what they think is a great idea for an app. They go out, they spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to develop that app. They put it into the marketplace, and it fails. Why did it fail? Because they didn't do the right market research up front to see what is selling, what's being downloaded, what are the trends. And there's some great tools out there, and again, part of our training is teaching you how to use these tools, how to access these tools, providing these tools. This is one right here, Top App Charts, topappcharts.com. Breaks it down by every single category, by games, by paid, by free, so you get a really good idea of what's working in the marketplace. And knowing what works in the marketplace obviously is critical to getting your app business going in the right direction. Here's what it really boils down to, though, and this is that 3-step formula, simple 3-step formula that I talked about earlier. This really is the secret to success in this business right here. It is all about testing. You test the market first, then you expand. And it's a simple 3-step process. You start with step 1, which is called the quantity step. And in the quantity step, you build a large number of apps to test first. These are usually info apps. You use these apps to enter into the market. And you're building these apps for free or maybe at $12 an app but you aren't spending a lot of money here in this first step. Once that first step is done and once they've been in the market for a little bit, you're moving to step two. Step two is building quality apps, and these are based on what's converting from step one. Does that make sense? So what's converting from step one drives what's being built in step two. And step two, these are normally entertainment and productivity apps. Now, once those have been in the market for a bit, you have the opportunity to go to step three. Step three is really the magic step. This is the step that could really turn this business into $1 million business, and that's where you're able to build super apps. Super apps are built with the earnings from step one and step two, and these are entertainment and productivity and game apps. These are really the real successful apps out in the marketplace are the super apps, and this is the winning formula right here, folks. This is the winning formula. Let's drill down on this winning formula a little bit further. So the first thing we talked about in step one was quantity apps. In the quantity app phase, you're going to deploy at least 100 a month, 100 apps a month, and you're going to expect a minimum of 150 downloads across all those apps, averaging about $6,000 in revenue. Now, for me, having started a number of different businesses, getting started with this kind of expectation is a fantastic way to start your business. And let's look at this realistically. Let's say that you spent $12 on each one of those apps to put into the marketplace to get started. You would have spent $1,200 and generated $6,000 in revenue. Not a bad return on investment. But now, the quantity apps, remember that's step one. Step two then is the quality apps. This is where you've taken the results of step one and now you're starting to zero in on the apps that are really, really working in the marketplace. You're going to deploy 3 of these each month and you're going to expect $10,000 per month per app in revenue. That's $30,000 a month, folks. Well, you're taking all of these earnings, and again, you're doing analysis, you're tweaking, and then you get to the super app phase. This is that step 3, where you're deploying 1 app every 3 months with the expectation that you're going to be getting $100,000 per app per month. This is an absolutely phenomenal model. It absolutely works. This is proven. This is how, matter of fact, not just the 41% who make money, but this is like the upper 5% of the 41%. This is the winning formula that these people are using. Let's take a look at the app revenue model. It starts out with free apps. Now, let me tell you, this is where, again, most of the people that fall into that 59% losing money bucket fail. They go out, they spend thousands of dollars on that one app that they think this is it, this is how I'm going to get in the marketplace, this is going to make me a ton of money. And they go, why would I offer it for free? I've just spent $6,000 on this app. I need to put it out there as a paid app so I can at least make my money back. Well, that's where they fail. You really enter this market, you want to start out with free apps, and you monetize those free apps 2 ways. One, with banner ads, and with affiliate marketing. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But free apps is how you get started in the business. Then, of course, you go to paid apps, what everybody thinks of. Paid apps normally 99 cents. They could be any number. They can be from 99 cents to $3, $5. I've seen them upwards of $50, $60, $70. But normally 99 cents. 99 cents is a terrific price point. Why? Because it's an impulse buy. It's an impulse buy, right? At 99 cents, in and of itself isn't a lot of money. But when 150,000 people buy your 99-cent paid app, that's a lot of money then. So you've got free apps and banner ads, affiliate marketing, you're monetizing there. Paid apps, monetizing, obviously. There's a number of ways to monetize paid apps over and above, say, the 99 cents you're charging, which we're going to get into in a minute. Then you've got freemium apps. Freemium apps are actually a combination of free apps and paid apps. But here's the best part of this entire app revenue model. This is what I love the best. And for those of you that have been in multi-level marketing, network marketing, you'll understand this. The best part is residual income. Every single month, month in and month out, your apps are making money. You're putting new apps in the marketplace. They're generating money. So on and so on and so on. Month in and month out. It's building, building, building. And it's all residual income. It's an unbelievable revenue model. Here's how it works, just looking at it visually. So you start up at the top with free apps, and then go down to the left-hand side here where you've got that paid app, right? You're promoting that first paid app from the free app, okay? And I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. Paid app can then promote paid app number 2, can promote paid app number 3. You can be promoting free apps at the same time. But here's what free apps will bring you. Free apps are going to bring you a lot of traffic. And what's traffic going to be able to do for you? You're going to be able to monetize that traffic. It's just like an internet marketing business, right? Internet marketing businesses succeed or fail off of traffic. And the app business, I have never, in my 15 years of internet marketing, I have never seen a business model that can generate as much traffic, as much as we would call it in the internet marketing space, opt-in traffic, as the app business does, especially the free apps. And I'll give you an example. Probably in some of my best days, I could generate 500 to 1,000 opt-ins. 500 to 1,000 opt-ins in building lists. And I've built lists of hundreds of thousands of people. 500 to 1,000, okay? In the app business, I'm seeing people build on a daily basis 2,000, 5,000, 15,000 or more people on a daily basis on their list. It's a phenomenal list building model as well. So I talked about the monetization side. These are 3 different screens that all play into the app space. The first one here on the left, push notifications, and you've all gotten these on your phones before. Push notifications are terrific, and usually they're happening. They can happen on free apps, they can happen on paid apps, but here's the great thing about push notifications. Push notifications have a 97% click-through rate. 97%. The last time I saw a 97% click-through rate on anything was maybe back in the early days of internet marketing. This second screen, the nag screen, usually shows up on free apps, and this is the screen that comes up to say, hey, we've got some great improvements. We've got some additional things that you can have. If you want to, get those, try it now, and that's the upgrade, 99 cents, right? So these work extremely well in upgrading free apps to paid apps. And then you've got the Get More screen, the More screens. More screens usually are advertising either your other apps or other people's apps in an affiliate type scenario. Either way, you're making money. These are all money-making tools that are part of the app business. Here's probably one of the most powerful things in powerful ways that the 41 percenters, and especially I'm going to say the 5 to 10 percenters of the 41 percenters are making money. It's building a successful app network. We're in the process of building a successful app network made up of 2 different components. Appreneurs, and this is a new word we're introducing tonight, appreneurs. Appreneurs, where you're working with other app developers who are going to advertise, cross-promote your apps, and you're going to cross-promote, advertise their apps. Non-competing apps, obviously. You're not going to be promoting something that competes with any of your apps, but building a network of other app developers, appreneurs, is the first step in building a successful app network. The second step is app companies, companies that are out there that are building apps. Of course, one of the biggest would be Zynga, but there's so many others out there that are buying apps. And when I say buy apps, I don't mean buying an app from you for 99 cents. I mean buying the rights to your app for thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. That's the other part of the quote-unquote end game here. Planning to sell your apps. You may never sell you may not want to sell your apps. You may just want to build apps so you build this amazing residual income. But know that the option is going to be out there for you. Because here's what we're doing in building this app network. We can create a huge app business together. That's our end game here, folks. That's what Angela and I are doing. We're in the process of not only building this network, doing this training, we're building an app business at the same time. You see, we see a tremendous opportunity here in the app business side of things. There's a lot of money to be made here. A lot of money to be made here. This is like being in on the early days of internet marketing business, early days of the .com explosion. And now the timing is right. We're building this together. We're going to show you how to build your own app network as part of our training. But listen, wouldn't you want to be part of something that's already out there, that already has connections, that already is laying the groundwork? We can do this together. I love the fact that we're building this business using the knowledge, using what we've learned from our two mentors. And you may have heard of these guys. Over here on the left, Chad Merida. Chad has a best-selling book out on Amazon called The App Empire. Fantastic book. He also built a training program around that's not available anymore, but again, very, very successful. And Amish Shaw. Amish Shaw is a guy who got into the app business about 2 years ago. Within 18 months of building his business, he sold that business to an app company. Okay, sold his business, sold his apps for almost $2 million. Not a bad, not a bad scenario, right? We should all be so successful. But these two guys, their knowledge, their success, we're using that success. We're piggybacking onto that success. We've taken what they've taught us to build this program and to teach you all as well. We couldn't have two better mentors as part of our program. Let's take a look at the program, Social App Income. Social App Income is really three things rolled into one. It's a 6-week training program. It's our network that we talked about, and it's additional resources that we've built into the program as well. But let's start with a 6-week training program. It's a step-by-step program designed to take you from zero being zero knowledge in the app business, from zero to hero in 6 weeks' time. And as a matter of fact, show you how to start making money after you start training in as little as 21 days. Let's take a look at week 1. We start out by teaching you how to pick the right categories for your apps. We all know how important that is. I talked about that earlier. We talk about market research strategies, teach you market research strategies, give you market research tools to help you target the right audience. Talk about how to set up your app marketplaces the right way. I didn't tell you this before, but in the Apple Store, it usually takes right now a couple of weeks to get approval for your app. Most of the Android market stores you can get into, and it's almost instant approval process, so you can get started in there quicker. But again, the App Store, Apple Store takes a couple of weeks. But we show you how to set that up the right way, how to choose the right app name. Okay, remember it's keyword centric, right? We talked about that earlier, keyword centric. So how to choose the right app name for your category. We talk about SEO strategies, which ties to that keyword centric idea, so your app has maximum visibility in the app stores. We go on to week 2. Week 2, we start to focus on a couple of different things. One, the ins and outs of graphics and design elements, and really teaching you how to design basic graphics for your apps. But let me tell you, you don't have to be a graphic designer. We're going to provide you with resources and show you how to do this for yourself, but also provide resources that you could use very inexpensively to outsource. Here's the other thing. Copywriting strategies for your apps, teaching you copywriting. When you go in to purchase an app right now, or even just to download a free one, what's the two things that you see and you look at? One is that icon. So is that icon visually arresting? Does it grab your attention? And then the little description, write-up. It's critical, isn't it? It's either going to interest you and pull you in, or it's going to turn you off. So these three things right here, the graphic design and copywriting strategies are critical and key, and we get into that in week 2. We're going to show you how to build your own apps for free. Now, a lot of you aren't going to want to do this for very long. You're going to want to outsource. Which we'll talk about later. But we're going to show you how to initially build your own apps for free, so you can begin to test the marketplace. The monetization strategies are critical. We're going to show you how to get the most out of your apps. We're going to teach you a number of different initial monetization strategies. And then finally, how to test your apps and get them ready to submit into the different marketplaces. So that takes us through week 2. Week 3 is when we actually begin to submit apps to the 3 stores to get accepted. How does that work? And really understanding the approval process, it's going to get you accepted 99% of the time. So we're going to teach you how that works. And then, of course, what you do after your apps have been accepted. Very, very important. We're going to show you how to do that. Hey, 1% of the time, your app is not going to get approved. So we're going to teach you what you need to do if that's the case. How to leverage the approval process. Again, an important aspect. Finally, we go to week 4. Week 4 is the analysis. You've got some apps in the marketplace now. How do you analyze your stats and your data to find out how to tweak and maximize your app's potential? We'll teach you how to do that. We're going to teach you some advanced monetization techniques on how to get more revenue out of each one of your apps. We're going to teach you how to take full advantage of our app network that we're building for you to explode your income. How do you leverage that? We're going to teach you some advanced marketing techniques. Let me tell you this. Most of the marketing we're going to show you in the early stages is going to be free marketing. Okay, free marketing. You're not going to have to spend dime one on marketing, but there's going to come a time where you may want to be able to get into some of the marketing networks that are out there for apps. Those are going to be paid networks. We're going to teach you about those and how to get the most out of those if you want to go down that route. Week 5, we talk about and teach you how to motivate and reward your customers to download more of your apps, to get more out. Listen, once you have that customer base, right, how do you get more out of that customer base? This is going to teach you how to do that. There's a really cool upgrade strategy that we're going to teach you all about here that adds even more income. This is a cool and unique idea here that we're going to teach you. Piggybacking off of other apps that you have and that your competitors have, and how to monetize that. Here's where that email list building technique and trick part comes in. And again, when people are downloading apps from you, free apps from you, you're building a list at the same time. We're going to teach you how that works. And then we're going to look at, in week 5 here, we're going to start looking at how to start building quality apps and how you go about doing that. Then finally we get to week 6, the final week. We're going to show you a really cool business idea here, how to leverage what you've learned and apply that in the local business market, especially if you're a social media manager or you've done things with SEO, or you have small businesses that you have as clients already. Do you know that those people are ready and willing to pay for apps that you would develop for their business? We're going to show you how to do that in week 6. We're going to show you how to create and grow your own network of appreneurs and companies. Okay, app companies that are out there. Maybe you don't want to be part of our network. Maybe you want to break out on your own and develop your own network. We're going to show you how to do that in week 6. We're going to show you some advanced SEO tricks to even get more downloads for your apps. And then how to sell your apps through our network or your own network. And when I say sell your apps, again, I'm talking about selling them outright to a company for thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. This is what you're going to go through. And then finally, how to outsource your entire business. And I mean your entire business, where you can sit back and just manage the outsource piece. Okay? Very cool aspect of this entire business model, and one that many of you will want to take a long, hard look at.